Hey there, this video is video number 1 in a series of tutorials on Song Master Pro. I've talked about it quite a bit on this channel. It is the best thing going for the learning and practicing musician. It is the musician's learning assistant. If you're interested in the software and haven't used it yet, there is a link in the description of this video. We're going to go over the pricing and all that good stuff. I will tell you right off the top that it is not a subscription model. You buy it once and you own it. So we're going to go over all of these things in detail, but I just want to give you just a sneak peek here of what Song Master Pro is. There's AI analysis. You can get an overview of the sections of your song. There's AI chord detection, bars, beats, BPM. You'll get the key signature, the time signature, lyrics as well. You can extract stems. You can export these and put them in a DAW if you like, or you can just kind of mute, do different things with them right inside the platform. I should let you know that this is not a DAW. There's no recording in here. This is learning. This is a learning tool. The price, let's get that out of the way. Song Master Pro is $99.95. Again, there is a link below. Well worth it. It's not a subscription. It's not a subscription. You have, once you buy it, it is yours. There's Song Master, there's an upgrade, and then there's Pro. I use Song Master Pro. You can go, check out the comparisons, but let's get into the user interface right now. Before we talk about the user interface, I get asked the question a lot, does this come in an iOS app? The answer, an iOS or Android app, the answer is no. And I get that people are sometimes bugged out by that. I am not bugged out by that, and I'm going to tell you for a very specific reason. When I sit down to do deep work, I'm not talking about playing around. I'm talking about doing deep work, really learning a tune, either for a gig, for a tutorial, or something like that. Apps don't work for me. I need to sit down and work, and I need to have granular control over everything that I'm doing in the software. And so Song Master Pro, the very first software of its kind that has this level of control and flexibility. So I just want to put it out there. If an app is the thing that you need, this is really not going to be the thing for you. If you don't care about that, I say this is the thing. So from top to bottom, let's go from top to bottom, left to right. You've got all the things that you would imagine here in a DAW or old school tape machine. You've got save, play from the beginning, a count in, bring it back to the top, previous, next, loop, and space. I really don't use these. I use keyboard shortcuts a lot of the times. But that's me. Up here, similar to Logic Pro, you have your screen that tells you what bar you're on, what beat, the BPM, the time signature, and the key. These icons represent this wave view. There's a mixer view, and we don't, right now we don't see it. We only see the 2-track because we haven't generated any stems yet. And pitch, you can see the MIDI pitch representation and the chord chart. In the series, we'll dive deeper into each one of these sections, but right now we're just doing a general overview. This snap to is, as the name would suggest, am I snapping to? So right now, when I drag this cursor, it's not snapping to anything. If I want to snap, auto snap, I can have it snap to the bar, half bar, beats, 16th notes, etc. And it depends on what you're doing. This icon is going to open and close the bottom and the side. Pretty self-explanatory there. Now before we go to the main section, we have this slider here which shows us our sections. If I drag, I can zoom in, zoom out. I can just grab that and slide that around. This was one of the biggest selling features for me. This was one of the big things for me, was the ability to be able to just go, in and out of sections and really get granular. So let's see if I come over here and I want to, you see how far I can zoom in there? Let me turn the snap off. That was really important to me for setting loop points and, getting into different sections and things like that. So I don't even know what they call that thing. I call it a zoom thing. I really don't call it that, but that's what it does. Over on the left-hand side, again, our bars. We'll talk a little bit more about what those things do in more detail in subsequent videos. But this top row, as the name suggests, are our bars or measures. The second row are the sections. Okay, the sections of the song form, if you will. Again, we will in subsequent videos talk about cleaning this up, how AI reads it, and how to get a nice chord chart out of this. In the next lane, we have our chords, notes, and I do mean notes. Like, let's say I want to add a note there. Let's say top of the verse, right? I could do that, and if I go over to my chord chart, I can see that note there, right? I can also delete that note. There's a row for lyrics, and I'll show you how to download lyrics. Of course, there's our audio lane. Then at the bottom, we've got our tool panel. Here's the stuff for the learning musician that you're gonna use a lot when you're trying to learn things, right? We can slow things down. Most of the time, people want to slow things down. We can transpose. Loop control, we can change, we can set how many times something loops. We've got a phrase trainer, a key trainer. Again, we'll talk about that in a little bit more detail shortly. And our metronome. Mixer, pitches, analyzers. The mixer section and the tool section is where I do my most of my work when it comes to Songmaster Pro. Now, I have uploaded Dock of the Bay, and I did that on, really intentionally because I wanted to pick a song that was rather simple, but also had a sort of old school recording process. So the recording is not pristine, and you're gonna, there's some transients and things like that. So check this out. So here's measure 1, and if you know Dock of the Bay, if I press on that chord, I know that that's a G chord. It's a B chord, right? I'm doing this very intentionally. Very simple chords. All of those things are correct. But what will happen, and because we know that technology is not perfect, sometimes it may pick up on a transient of some sort or a passing tone or something in the recording. For instance, that A sharp doesn't exist there. So we'll take that and delete it. That C7, I don't believe that's a C7. I believe that is just a C chord. So I just wanted to make note of that. So we'll take off the extension and just have it as a C major chord. But that's going to be, again, subsequent videos. This is just an overview of, you know, the user interface and what everything looks like. Now, the thing that most people are excited about is the ability to get stems. So it's technology. Sometimes it's fast. Sometimes it is not so fast. I have compared the separation times with other platforms, and they are comparable. So we'll click on generate stems, and I just really set it to generate everything. As a bass player, I'm typically, you know, I'm really interested in that bass part. What's the quality? Let's just, you know, talk about the elephant in the room. Everybody wants to know what's the quality of the AI separation. That is something else, and there is a video here on this channel where I did a head-to-head between Songmaster Pro and Moises, and so separation time, sound quality, they are comparable. They are comparable. So I'll link to the head-to-head comparison in this video, and you can check that out. All right, so now our stems are separated, and we can, all the things that you would imagine, mute, solo, etc. You can do all those things with the mixer down here. Now, in the next video, we'll cover some other topics, dive a little bit deeper into the basic functions of Songmaster Pro. I absolutely love this software, and I believe that you will too.